Hello folks, welcome back to another video on this channel. Today is a great day for celebration and I will tell you why. So if you use Roblox Studio for game development like me, if you go here on this little bell, it says improve water with the shorelines. This means we do not have janky and jagged shorelines anymore. However, this is an update that is I forgot what it is. The thing it's like a beta, so I don't know if it's ready for playable games yet. So we're gonna call this water test. All right, permissions public, just so I could test this out. Um, okay, so I'll publish to Roblox, save. Alright, so I have my water here. Okay, yes, you do see some jagged lines. That is not from the water. What that is actually from is the poly count of the terrain and stuff. So that's it, like, going through the terrain. Um, Best example of that, of what I could show, for example, I have a sphere, right? You see how it has like these little ridges and polys. So because of that, if you put these two together and stuff and they don't properly connect versus how it was before, you kind of get this, but which was not the issue, but that's just what is happening right now. And it looks fine. Even modern games on the market right now do this system. They have this. So, and I'll be honest, the game 7 Days to Die has worse water than this. Okay, so I will, first and foremost, I'll pause the video and get it ready. Okay, so as it's starting up, I will explain you why is this a big deal. This is a huge deal because a lot of people, um, or towards the younger audience, are using Roblox Studio because one, it's an easier engine to use. It's an online platform where they have a lot of their friends on who are also interested in that. So it's free and stuff, and you can do it with many people and whatnot, but it does have its limits onto some stuff. So with improvements like these and people like making very realistic stuff, for example, what I do and stuff, this is always a combating issue because instead of using terrain, we would have to use high poly meshes and stuff, and those are hard to find, especially ones that are legal um, to find online. So let's see here. Um, yes, I can confirm you are able to play with this on Studio. So I'll go right here because that's where my character would be. Sorry, that is OBS. Where's Studio? Here we go. All right. Okay. Yep. Okay, so you can publish these, but be aware. Just be aware. If anything happens to where Roblox has to disable this or anything like that, because it is a beta, don't be surprised. Roblox has done this before, for example, with Material Service, which took a long time, but was worth it somewhat at the end. Well, we'll say yes, it was worth it. So it had some in and outs with that. Like there was a time where it was available, then there was a time where it wasn't. So expect that for any new things that are going to be added onto Studio because I mean that's just how things work. You release something new, you test if it has any bugs. If it does, you don't want to keep that because that's going to be a bad issue and stuff for people and it glitches and what other not that people might not want in their game or sorry, would not want in their game. So it's basically testing to see, hey, does the community like this, and what could we improve on it? So this is just test. You can right now implement it into your games, but it is something that you kind of need to be aware about if you're planning on doing this. If you wanna always add more realism and stuff because there's not much, like foam or splash effects from the shorelines and stuff. You could just add your effects if you want on the sides, which I mean might be really buggy. So instead, if you want to, if you're just having a calm river, you could just have some like wet mud on the side, and you'd be good to go. Now here's another thing that makes this really a good thing. It's because of jagged terrain, for example, like rock and other stuff that would have like a face. A face meaning like geometry. So, what's really beneficial about this is because we can now start placing assets smoothly along the shoreline without them facing in a way we don't want to. So then every like 5 seconds we'll have to go down and edit it, and it's just gonna be a lengthy process. Now it makes it 10 times easier. Not saying like, oh, you're not gonna need to do editing. Yeah, stuff might be floating, but because of how like smooth it is now and the water not affecting the edges, it will make it a lot easier. So instead of having to place assets there to make, for example, moss, pebbles, um, grass, or whatever you'd want on like the side of water. Instead of using like assets for that, you could literally just use what is given to you and stuff. And so it makes it a lot easier. That is what's really good about this update. And I've been wanting this update for for quite some time now. Um, and I'm glad it has come out. This was actually a very important update. Um, Now, let's see what Roblox can do better on. Here's what I think they should have. And if you want to skip this part, you can, but I mean, this is stuff that we could all agree on. We should definitely be able to add a new version or piece of terrain. For example, like a new type of grass instead of having one material for grass. And yes, I understand like we could texture to the side and underneath it, but that still limits us to what we can do. And instead of having to use something that you're probably never going to use in a forest, like snow, and retexture that to make it look like a ground piece, which is what I have been having to do, no big deal, right? And you could just change the walk sounds, no biggie. Okay, so here's the thing. It may be a little. I think it's going to be probably a big update. Um, it's gonna have some work like material service. I think we can expect the same, if not a little bit more amount of time being used into doing this. What I think they should add, sorry, is when you go to add here, it will ask you, do you want to add a new, for example, variant and stuff. And it doesn't need to be classified, or maybe it could be classified under this material, so you could have more types of grass, more types of ground, more types of etc. I think that'd be really good. Another thing is also lighting. I mean, you could script it as well to have light be effect in a different things. But I mean, for people who don't know how to script. I'm not a scripting nerd, so please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm always here to learn. Just have like different environments and stuff. Like make a blending between the environment, which I mean in general is hard. Um, what's another thing? Oh, also with water and everything. I don't if you're gonna have, like, for example, the idea that I suggested, have separate pieces of terrain and stuff. I don't not meaning like you select them like parts. Well, use a part as an example, right? You could have different parts. One could be brick, one could be a different type of brick or something. So think of it like material service, right? You could have different variations of cracked lava, okay? And you could just texture them, okay? So I have one version and one version, okay? And I could select the material underneath and then use that as a brush to use the terrain, um, or to implement terrain on my scene. What I'm trying to say is in terms of coloring the terrain, it should not affect all of it. That's what I think is also very limited, is to when you are forced to color one thing and it affects everything else. Because making a multi environment place, I mean, it's a really good thing, and we hardly. I mean, I don't even think we see it. Sure, we'll see it in a low poly game, right? But I'm talking about if you want to make something like really cool that has, like, it goes into a volcanic area, a desert, then moves on into like a plains biome. Like the environment and the lighting and the atmosphere, it all changes, right? And so does the color of the terrain. A desert is not green, neither is a snow biome, so that's I think something that could be worked on, and it also makes it a lot. I don't know if I the correct terminology. I mean, it could be easier, but it could also be better for people who want to make more environments. Also to customly have textured grass. This is something I think should be added to Studio. Custom textured grass. This, like these little green triangles, because it literally is. One side, or, yeah, see? 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. Yeah, three sides. Yeah, and to prove to you, it is a triangle. Right here, right here. See? So, I think we should also texture this. Sure, a flat image is fine. I mean, a lot of games will tend to do that, but it could also lead up to opportunity of that as well. Because I mean, this would also be a flat image as well. So having custom textured grass is also another good thing. Um, one update I think could, and lastly, is painting. I think it should be done on anything, parts and terrain. For example, if I want to have a little rust patch there, I could blend that in with the terrain. And I mean, that also goes down with photo editing and stuff like that, which you can do and make a material on, um, and stuff. So I mean, custom grass, um, more options, um, for the terrain. And I mean, pretty much that'd be it. They're having a huge step in the right direction. And like what a lot of people say the Roblox, like, com community, like, I mean, people will implement updates, don't do really good job, or will tend to disappoint us a lot. This is something that has been needed for a while. Sorry, I wanted to make it a little bit shorter video, but um all in all, I think that is all I have for you guys today. Um, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.